Well, good Sunday evening. We're here in a very wonderful place most people don't get to see. We're in the kitchen, Good Company Restaurant. We are at Good Company Barbecue, their third location on the northwest side of town, here with Levi Goode. The sounds that you're hearing are people preparing the food that, I don't know about you, but I love me some Good Company Barbecue. Levi, thanks for the behind-the-scenes tour. For people that eat your barbecue and wonder what goes on back here, one of the things that you've always preached is that better cuts of meat, better preparation, better quality, and that people on the outside will taste it. Tell me about that.
Well, Michael, starting off, a lot of our family recipes, so everything we do here is family recipes. It's something that either my father created, my great uncle Joe Dixie, who helped my father when we first opened in 1977, and some of these, my grandmother's pecan pie recipe is another one that people like. We've always been very quality oriented. Not only the product that comes in the back door, but what we do with it and how our preparation works once we bring it in.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, all of our sausage is homemade. We've back from the time we opened till the early 80s, we used to make sausage runs between Houston and Weimar. There's an old German guy that would make sausage, and when he retired, he took a fondness from my dad and showed him how to make German-made sausage. And from that point in time forward, we started making our own sausage. And so that's one thing that the average customer I don't think knows that we do and go through the extra effort on is making our own sausage.
Is there a secret ingredient in the sausage that makes it special?
It's a lot of love. We use special seasoning blends that we've come up with, and our Czech sausage is made with 50% beef and 50% pork. We cut it up, grind it, stuff it, and smoke it every day. That's just an example. Another thing we do is we bake all our own breads, fresh daily in our own kitchens. We're not farming our bread out to somebody else to make for us. We have a bakery where we make our own baked goods and breads.
Your jalapeno bread, even if I'm not in the mood for barbecue, I'll come in and get the jalapeno bread and put something else on it. I just love it. Not that I'm often not in the mood for barbecue. Tell me what else you do that really sets you apart, or that you're really proud of, that you feel like people can taste.
You know, all of our meat is seasoned with our proprietary seasoning blends that we bring in the herbs and spices from Gulf Pacific right down the road here. And we blend those ourselves. And we bottle them up and sell them retail, but we also use those same seasonings to season all our meat. And we like to do that 24 hours before we put it on the pit. Another thing is mesquite wood. All our mesquite wood comes from South Texas, and we use just green mesquite wood because it has a higher moisture content. The smoke is a little smoother. It's not as harsh as wood that's been sitting around, in some place already cut for a long time. And we think that makes a difference. All these little things add up to, I think, make the difference, and is something that we like to provide for our customers.
You've kept the restaurant in the family. We're talking to Levi Goode of Good Company Restaurants, and that allows you to do things that with some companies they can't. The accountants come in and run the restaurant, and they start cutting back. What's that thing that restaurant consultants, if they were to come in, would say, Levi, you ought to cut this, you ought to cut this. Your patron coming in can't tell the difference, but you say, yeah, they can. I will never cut on that, even though it's an extra expense.
You know, it's more of a philosophy, Michael. It's either in the business to cut corners and try to fatten that bottom as much as possible, or you're in the business to be proud of what you're serving and what you're doing every day and being able to go to sleep and feel good about what you're doing and knowing that your customers like it. So that's what we're into. We're into doing things the right way and not cutting corners, handmade preparations every day, and get up every morning and do the same thing over again.
All right, is there anything in these pits we need to see, or do you want to go up to the service?
Yeah, let me show you one of our pits. We have a lot of meat on it, about to pull off here for lunchtime. I'd be happy to show it to you.
All right, what do we got here? I got to see some brisket, and I got to see some ribs, because those are my favorite Good Company products.
Our pits are made here in Texas, in Mesquite, Texas, by J&R Manufacturing. And I'll show you the firebox here in a little bit, but this particular pit will hold 1,300 pounds of meat. And you can see I got about 14 racks of ribs there. And then let me stop this for a second. I'll show you some of this brisket.
All right, we are looking at a massive massive, looks like an incinerator. It is unbelievable, this pit. I've never seen anything like that. Those are custom made for y'all?
Custom made for us, and this particular pit, we use, we're cooking everything on it this morning. We have turkey breast, I have brisket that's been cooking since about 9 o'clock last night. I'm running these pits 24/7, so I'm smoking nonstop at about 200 degrees. Slow and low is what we like to preach. And it's just, barbecue, Texas barbecue, you can't get in a hurry. You got to take your time, and that's what makes a difference.
So when I buy a slice of brisket, how long has that been cooking by the time it gets to me?
Our brisket is cooked anywhere from 12 to 14 hours. We season it at least 24 hours in advance, sometimes 48 hours in advance. We use domestic product. It's USDA choice brisket, so you don't get some of the inferior products that are associated with the lower grade being select. And so 14 to 16 hours. It's over mesquite wood, no gas. Just kind of done caveman style, I guess you could say.
Old-fashioned.
Old
school.
Way. Old-fashioned way.
All right. Tell me what else I'm looking at here.
Well, we have some ham. We have our signature whole chickens that we do. Now let me advance this pit and kind of show you what else we got going here. Talking about our homemade sausage. Here's a whole rack of our sausage that was made this morning. Got it on the pit, finishing off with some smoke, getting ready to serve it for lunchtime today.
All right. What else?
Well, we got ribs. We also serve pork for those Southerners that transplant to Texas. They're looking for that kind of pulled pork barbecue.
Right.
We do our style of a spicy pork butt that we serve.
Nothing's marked here. How do they know how long it's been on the pit?
It's all about touch and feel. That's how we know when things are ready.
Give us, those of us that like to barbecue but don't know as much as you do, how do you know when a piece of brisket's ready? How do you know when a rib's ready?
Okay, let's come around to this. I'll show you both.
We are looking at the most succulent food you have ever seen. This video is going to be just absolutely fantastic. We're going to post everything at TXTime.com, so you'll get to see the whole video. All right, go ahead.
On this brisket, we have a separation of fat here between the top and the lower portion of the brisket. So when we test brisket is just by putting a fork in it and just feel that, Michael. You can kind of feel the resistance on that meat a little bit. That needs a little bit more time.
That feels like my bicep. It's real hard and flexed out.
It's almost like cooking a steak, where you can kind of feel that meat starts getting a little softer or a little firmer. That's how you can tell when the brisket's ready. It's all about touch and feel.
All right, you said it's about touch and feel. How exactly do we know a brisket's ready?
It's not something that we're probably going to learn overnight or even on this show, but it's all about the resistance and just practice, and over time you learn when these things are ready.
All right.
So our chicken, a lot of people home cooks are checking their chicken's coming out of the oven with a thermometer, making sure that they're getting to that 180 degrees. What we do on our chicken is we just turn it up like this and see what color the juice is. That juice is running clear, so that chicken's ready to go.
So you want your juice to be clear when you turn it up?
Yep.
But you don't lose any juice by doing that?
No, because once we cut this chicken up, the juice is going to go away anyway. Now, if I'm sticking the chicken with my fork, then a lot of the juice will come out of the meat. But just doing that is the collective juices that happen during the smoking process.
Do you have any special way to make chickens when you're doing them yourself? Beer can chickens or any of that stuff?
Yeah, I love throwing chickens on the pit or on the grill. There's too many ways to name on what I like to do with them. On these ribs, you can tell these ribs are cooked on two different ways. You look at where the bone is and where the meat's kind of drawn up off the bone. That tells you if it's cooked, and also the flexibility of it. These ribs are ready. You can tell just by how you're able to bend them. These ribs are just about there.
If you're like me and you want to learn from Levi Goode what this stuff, how to do this stuff, or you just want to see some great food being cooked, go to TXTime.com. We've posted the video, so you'll actually get to see a lot of what we're talking about, and it'll make even more sense.